everybody to tell me they're lying right now because of what the do you mean that I'm not gonna get my SNAP benefits? What the do you mean?
We are possibly going to lose our farm if NRCS doesn't hold up their contract with us on the EQIP program. Because of the executive orders, there's a pause or a freeze on the funding, and they're not able to pay out on the stuff that we completed or anything going forward.
Beyond betrayed. They used us during the campaign, the elected officials from the Republican Party. They actually told us that it was not going to touch the documented people.
I mean, you're an educator. You didn't vote for Trump eliminating federal funds.
No,
here.
I did not vote for that. I do not think that's what the voters want. If we have federal cuts, then that's going to mean bigger classroom sizes. I would lose teachers, first and foremost. It's devastating.
Do you regret your vote right now?
Well, between him and her, I thought he was the better choice, but honestly, I miss my Uncle Joe. I was a nobody, and I was balling then. Now, I couldn't even tell you. I couldn't even show you $5 in my pocket.
We spoke to Trump voters here in Florida who are ticked off about the fact that the gas prices in the state have gone up by an average of about 60 cents within just a week.
I would just wish he'd keep up on his campaign promise and say he was going to put it under $3. He'd end that war so fast. But here it is, 5 years later, helping his buddy out get his more money. And then never mind charging us Americans all sorts of money for fuel that you just stole from Venezuela.
And those gas prices are getting higher because of volatile oil prices due to the war in Iran, a war that these Trump voters tell us they hope wraps up quickly.
If I could speak to the president, I just encourage him to finish up this war and get us back to a safe world.
He's saying about for our safety, leave somebody alone, they won't bother you.
Hopefully this conflict over there will end, it's just unfortunate.
The overall vibe here at the gas pump amongst these Trump voters is they feel like the economy is not going well right now.
At the moment, I'm really out of work.
My hope is that it's temporary and it doesn't last for too long. That oil prices come back down. That's my hope.
The people who voted for Donald Trump, aka MAGA, are now regretting their votes, and that is the best side of TikTok that I ended up on.
Person after person left Miami's immigration court in tears Thursday.
And there's actually people sobbing on the other line, crying and scared for the family members.
Practically the same day he took office, he went against Venezuelans. It seemed personal.
While Didi Espinosa was being handcuffed by ICE agents in the hallway of federal court in Miami, his wife was yelling, quote, "This is unfair. It's not fair."
Como quiera. Buenas noches.
Are you done with Donald Trump, or could you see a way that you would support him publicly again?
Is that he's been a chronic disappointment, and I feel embarrassed that I told people to go vote for him because this wasn't going to happen, and it is happening. But I just think that the picture of politics in America is going to look very differently because of his actions. So I don't know where we go from here. I really don't. But this is not the candidate that I voted for.
I was a Trump supporter. I don't know how long I can keep doing this. I have a construction company. Not a fucking thing is getting done. This is what I get. This is what I fucking get. Nothing but white boys. It takes 4 days to do a one-day job.
God have mercy upon us.
Donald Trump has betrayed MAGA, betrayed America first. He has made the most disastrous decision to lead America into another war. Now, if not to respond, Donald Trump telling him to come back to the negotiating table now is a joke. Yeah. I mean, what an impotent leader to be. Trump looks and man, I supported him this last year. I apologize for doing so. It was a bad calculation at the time. It seemed like the right one, but.
I like Donald Trump. I think so. He's doing wrong. Because you know, fix the problem, just isolate the people.
Garcia said she and her husband arrived from Cuba 4 days ago and are seeking asylum. He went into the immigration office, but after several hours, there was no sign of him.
These Latino male voters are saying to me, this is not what we voted for. We wanted border security. We did want deportations of bad people, gangbangers, things of that nature. But we didn't want, the mom to be deported from their child, right? And so that's where largely the
or even the mom and
Loser! Makes me
emotional to know that I ever fucking stood by idly and blind and let that shit happen. Because I regret my vote for Trump.
I voted for Trump. I'm done. I have I need more resilience in me.
But hold on, what did you just say about Trump?
I said, Trump's a fucking liar. Inflation's going up. Gas prices hasn't really come down that much. Eggs? Oh, that's the funny one. The eggs. I'm mad. And I'm a MAGA man. Okay? I don't see anything he's done.
So is it safe to say that the illusion has faded?
I think it has, yes. You know, I was for him because, you know, everything he said, you know, he played right into my hands. He just told us everything we wanted to hear. That's what he did. I can't even stand to look at him because, you know, he's just he's a con. He's a flat ass, nothing but a fucking con. You know, they all the right side, they say, oh yeah, the Biden side was so bad. Well, what's so good about the right side? He brags about doing something with our economy, but I haven't seen anything happen yet. That big beautiful bill is going to add, they say $2.5 trillion. It's going to add about $4 trillion to the debt. The big beautiful bill. Oh, what a joke. Remember what happened in the 80s with trickle-down economics? Yeah. The filthy rich got richer, and us guys that worked for a living paid more taxes. I'm disappointed for sure. I'm real disappointed.
Sometimes the biggest political surprises don't happen on election day. They happen months later when families begin to feel the impact of policies, decisions in their everyday lives. Listen, that means when you choose to vote for a special candidate and it actually backfired, you have yourself to be blamed. That is what is actually happening right now in the state of Florida. Now, many Florida that have MAGA voters are now regretting voting for Donald Trump. And here is the reason why. Because the cost of living, everything, activities, their basic needs are too costly for them and they can't easily afford it. And over the past several months, we've seen growing reports and interviews featuring some Florida voters who supported Donald Trump. Now, what's fascinating to me is not that people disagree. That's normal in politics. When you disagree with people, you choose to follow whoever you believe is right for you. It's normal. But the fact that we are witnessing something every democracy experiences, voter makes decisions based on hope and promises. Yeah, that simply means every voter who choose to vote for Donald Trump has their own personal reason. Whether you like it, whether you are black, whether you are white, you have a personal reason why you choose to vote for Donald Trump. But now that you choose to vote for him and everything is now actually backfiring and working against you, and it asks you to go over length, like you can't afford your basic needs, everything is too costly for you to do. So what do you think? I would like to hear from my viewers across the globe, whether you are watching us from Europe, from Africa, from Asia, whatever you are watching us from. I want you to be part of this community. We are talking about politics every day, giving reports about what is happening.
There are white people going viral right now for their regret over voting for Donald Trump. And I put that word into heavy quotation marks because I genuinely question if they even know what the word regret means. One woman in particular got on TikTok crying a whole theatrical production about how people are not greeting her with open arms, how they're being mean to her in her comment section. Lady, are you fucking for real? Somehow you are the victim, not the millions of people harmed by the very system that you voted to prop up not once, not twice, but 3 fucking times. Not the immigrants who lost their family members to deportation or concentration camps. Not the communities of color who have been terrorized by the very policies that you voted to enable. You're the victim because people were mean to you in your comment section. And this tells me everything I need to know about your regret. You're not sorry, you're uncomfortable, and you're confusing the two. You claim that you're doing the work Yet at the first sign that that work becomes difficult, you make videos crying to garner sympathy for yourself. So the emotional labor falls on everyone else again. And then to make it worse, there's a whole slew of people in her comment sections coddling her. Oh, you're such a good girl because you realize that you made a mistake by voting for him 3 times. It's so brave of you to speak up. Then some of you have the fucking audacity to police how other people respond to this video. Specifically, the people that MAGA spent years targeting. People of color, the LGBTQ community, immigrants. You want them to welcome ex-MAGA with open arms. You want them to perform forgiveness for your comfort. The people that we should all have sympathy for are the ones who have been harmed, not the ones who do the harming and are now sad because everyone remembers. But here's the part that really gets me. Same crying video. She said she won't be voting in future elections. So instead of working to dismantle the oppressive system that you helped build, your solution is to throw your hands up and do nothing but cry online. That is not remorse. That is not doing the work. That's pandering for likes and comments to appease your praise kink. That's demanding forgiveness without actually earning it. Look, if people want to coddle ex-MAGA voters, that's your prerogative. Nobody can stop you for handing out participation trophies. But if you are an alleged regretful MAGA, do not expect anyone to forgive you. Do not expect a warm welcome. Do not expect marginalized communities to throw you a fucking parade. Do the fucking difficult work. Sit with your discomfort. Sit with the fact that people are rightfully angry at you. And sit with the fact that your regret doesn't undo any of the damage that you caused. The only way you will maybe, and that's a big if, be welcomed back into a society that is rightfully skeptical of you is if you spend the rest of your life proving that you are worth redemption. That means voting for progressive candidates who actually want to help people. That means showing up to protests. That means putting your fucking body on the line. That means doing the hard work, even when nobody is clapping for you. Otherwise, save your fucking tears and go cry about it in your journal.
Just take me inside your sort of theory of where we are now and where we're heading.
Well, thank you, Nicole. It's a great honor to be with you and the esteemed panel. And for those who are meeting me, I want to apologize for my work on the 2016 and 2020 Trump campaigns. I don't think that there has ever been a time more so than right now in which more MAGA Americans are questioning their support for Donald Trump. And I think that there is a burgeoning cognitive dissonance pervasive across MAGA, and begotten from that dissonance are confusion and doubts. And so for any of those who are in MAGA who are going to see this, and you're wondering if this is in fact the movement that you thought you were supporting, I want you to know that I am with you because I know what you're going through. I said at the DNC convention last year that Donald Trump's toxic superpower is lying, and his lies exploit and manipulate his supporters. They exploited and manipulated myself, and MAGA has traumatized every square inch of this country. But there's an opportunity, Nicole, and I believe that that opportunity is one where we could see potentially a mass leaving MAGA movement. The MAGA fever, albeit slowly, is breaking, and I think that the president knows that. And MAGA is buttressed by lies and mythologies and conspiracies, and eventually any movement or organization in which there is this dissemination of these conspiracies that we have seen recently, there is going to be a cannibalization of itself. And Attorney General Bondi is realizing and discovering a tenet of MAGA, which is that if you are not fully with MAGA, you are against us. That is the way we used to view those, whether they were Democrats or anti-Trump Republicans. If you were not 100% with us, you were against us. Do I understand why some would say that MAGA is a cult? I do get it. Do I think that there were some cult-like aspects to it? Yes, I know. I can attest to it. I lived it. But I would encourage people to more so look at MAGA as a community rather than a cult.